Michelle, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. We are very, very excited about this session today and hearing your story, and I know the community are really going to appreciate it.
Pleasure.
And I would love you to start by introducing yourself and telling the community a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Michelle. I enjoy Pilates, live music, being with friends and family, and just living a really full and busy life. That's definitely who I am.
So I would say you don't waste moments very often.
No, it's hard to relax. Yeah.
The purpose of this session is for community members to be able to share their personal experiences with the impact of Huntington's disease. And we feel very strongly the more stories that are out there, the more people can relate to experiences and know what they're feeling is actually really normal. So from your perspective, how has Huntington's impacted your life?
Oh, it's been a massive part of my life. I remember spending time with my nana as a child, and she was obviously becoming symptomatic. Watching how that progressed. I can't really remember a time before Huntington's was part of my life.
And how old was Nan when she was diagnosed? Do you recall?
She was in her 40s.
Okay.
She was quite a young grandma.
Yeah. And young age to be diagnosed.
Yes.
So you're right. So from a very young age, that was your experience through her.
Yeah.
And then how did it kind of evolve for you from there?
I was doing my year 11 biology cat, and I didn't know what to focus on as a topic, and Mum suggested Huntington's disease to me, and that's when I really delved in and got some more understanding around the illness, and that it actually wasn't just affecting my nana, it would be affecting generations to come, which was quite eye-opening, obviously.
What, you would have been probably 15, 16. That's pretty tough. Like, it's a stressful time anyway doing cats.
Yeah.
I know I'm old, but I do remember doing those. So then to actually learn about it through a biology project would have been pretty confronting.
It was confronting, and doing the maths of this could affect you, Mum, and then this could affect us, it was very confronting. Yeah. So I knew then that I wanted to get the genetic testing done before having children. That was something I just promised myself during, at a young age. Yeah.
And so between then, I suppose, how did you decide to move on with your life from doing that biology project and how the disease would impact your life?
You could never guess. It was always in the back of my mind, definitely. And then I think, I really tried to embrace my 20s. I wasn't interested in having children young. So I was studying, traveling, going to festivals, and just trying to have the absolute best time before I, went down that path. And my deadline was 30, but I didn't do it until I was 31. So that was when I finally decided I wanted to start family planning.
Well, that's because you're having too much fun in your life, which is what you should be doing, by the way. And
miss those days.
They go by very quickly, don't
they?
And time does fly before you get to that milestone that you've sort of said, that's where I'm going to be, that's and then boom, here it arrives.
Yeah, exactly.
And so how did that process of testing start for you, and what were some of the experiences you had?
It was really difficult, to be honest, just emotionally, I think, because in our family, Mum maintained she didn't want to be tested, and though we could see the symptoms. So I had to explore that without her knowledge, her and Dad's knowledge, which was tough. And so I went ahead with it because I'm stubborn, and I did the genetic counselling. I think it's 6 weeks of counselling from memory. It's a while ago now, but having to bring my partner along on that journey. He didn't know my grandmother. So I remember when they said to him in the session, do you understand what you're facing? And he was like, yeah. But I mean, obviously he's got a clear view now with where we're at with mum and everything. So yeah, it was a pretty fraught time.
It would have been tough because if you didn't have family with you and you had your partner, which was great, but then as a couple you're going through that experience together,
Yeah.
and then not being able to share that within the family is tough because it's a huge decision.
Exactly. And, it's everybody's individual choice. It's so important, which is obviously what I've learned from you and Huntington's Victoria, in our discussions over the years. Really, really isolating from your family.
Yeah.
But I'm so lucky. I have a really amazing network of friends who, unfortunately, I've ear bashed them over the years with all my worries and anxieties leading up to, and then post genetic testing as well. So,
And so would you say that that's really important to have that within a Huntington's family? If it's really tough for the family and you're making decisions, it's really important to have that support network around you of whoever those people might be.
yes,
Yeah, I totally agree.
it's so important, and it's important to have it outside of the family because it is just so emotional. I mean, I have my older cousin who we have the same situation, and he's a great person to speak to because we can really relate to each other, and but otherwise I've found friends have been a really great support. Yeah.
And do you think they provide you with a bit of balance? Because one of the concerns I've always had is that I don't think your whole life should be about Huntington's disease.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So having those friends also, does that help you be able to sort of make sure that you have that balance in your life?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because they're not living and breathing Huntington's disease. So, that can have its drawbacks because they don't necessarily understand the complexities. And
For you within your family, how has it impacted in terms of living with the disease and trying to manage it for you, but also trying to manage those relationships with your family members who may be coming from different perspectives?
it's definitely emotionally charged. But, at the core of it, we all love each other and we're very close. So, yeah, I think we're gentle with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it about respecting other people's viewpoints even if you might not agree with them?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're all on a different journey. Yeah.
Which is hard. I've just said that, but I know
No.
that it's not easy by any means. But you believe that's how it's working for you and your family at the moment?
Yeah, definitely. And we've discussed previously, fractured families are so common in this community, and that's definitely been a factor in our wider family. And I will do everything within my power to hopefully, keep that to a minimum.
How, from a 15-year-old to still a very young woman, okay?
Thanks.
How would you say you have come to terms with Huntington's disease from that project you did as a 15-year-old to the strong woman that you are now?
Oh, definitely through my work in the carer space.
And because I know you, so I know your background, and that wasn't your chosen profession initially. So you have this wonderful sort of writing background.
Yeah.
And then you chose, I think you came to a moment in your life where you decided you wanted to make a difference.
Yes.
And that's how you ended up.
Exactly right. I was a media analyst for years. I did professional writing at uni. That was what I wanted to do. But then after I had my little boy, I just started to feel like I wanted to use my lived experience to help others. So, I found work in that space, and then I've continued on with that for the past nearly 5 years now. And that's really helped me in my journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's really impressive that you've come from a completely different space and decided to make a sea change, really.
Yeah.
In terms of that carer space, would you have a message for carers given that you're working in that space at the moment?
Always. I always say to carers, you need to look after yourself and your well-being, because that in turn means you can provide the best possible care to your care recipient. So,
Totally agree.
yeah.
Why do you think it's important to share your story with the community?
Because it is so isolating. It is so incredibly isolating. I think, you know, even having to explain why isn't your mum here, or, you know, etc. You know, I can't work full time because I have to be with her, you know, on that one day a week. So I'm used to that response of people not knowing what Huntington's disease is. I'm so used to it. But wow, it is so nice to be in a space where people say, oh, I get it.
Yep.
You know, I understand. Yeah.
And again, I thank you so much for sharing that, because not only is this series about community members feeling comfortable enough to share and to make sure that you empower each other, but those that don't come from the community also have an opportunity to watch it and learn.
Yeah.
So you're contributing to trying to educate people and spread the word, but also helping the community. I cannot thank you enough.
Pleasure.
It's always lovely to see you. I'm sure I'll get you back at another time.
Thanks, Tammy.
Thank you.